Kia ora, Lara here, and I'm going to be working with the sketch by Janessa Franco on day 10 of 30 days of sketches with Christy's beautiful life. Loved this sketch. I just liked the sort of the two vertical elements with the wee clusters and the journaling and stuff around it. So I've gone ahead and gutted a piece of the Close to My Heart flower shop paper. Love this paper as well, and I've also just trimmed down a piece of white daisy cardstock, and I'm going to stick them together. In the photos this does look a little bit crooked. It's not actually crooked in real life. I was just photographing it in some poor light, but you'll see that at the end, and perhaps you noticed that on the thumbnail at the start. So I'm just pretty much sticking to the sketch design here with these two strips. So the border around, and then these papers are all part of the Close to My Heart flower shop collection. I've used this heaps. I was thinking that I almost need to get some more. It's just got the colours that I tend to like using in my pages, and it just seems to hit the nail on the head with all of those. So I can see it being a collection that I do use quite a bit for lots of different projects and ideas. Anyway, got these two vertical strips, and now I'm sort of thinking, okay, what else am I going to do? Because it's not an overly floral page. It's a picture, two pictures here of my one of our cats. This is Rua, and he is essentially, he's Alicia's cat, and he is actually in her bedroom in these two photos. So first up, he quite likes sitting on the fish tank, even more so at the moment since we've got my son's dog living here as well. And while Rua doesn't seem to be scared of the dog or anything, Rua's a bit of a snob, and he doesn't really he's not really very friendly with any other animals, really. Even his own brother, he will tolerate, but both the brothers don't seem to tolerate other animals, but they do seem to be fascinated by the fish. So Rua is sitting up on the fish tank. He's also, this is sort of a great position for him to be able to watch down the hallway and to see when the dog is coming, or to see when any of the other cats are coming. So that's him. And the other photo, he just seemed to be, he was just sitting there on the top of a bookshelf, and he was just beside the sign that my middle daughter, Katia, had actually put the letters on quite a few years ago, but for some reason the sign's now been appropriated into Alicia's bedroom. So I am going through again this flower shop collection, and I'm choosing papers to back the photos. I'm just creating a bit of layer, a bit more interest around them, without trying to detract or take away from the image. So cutting into quite a few of these papers here, and just as I look at it, I'm like, why would I cut into a whole sheet of paper? And that's because I've used up all the scraps already, so I know that I'll use all the leftovers of these as well. So liking how that's sort of looking, and with those two vertical strips in the sketch design that Janessa put together, and just going to adhere those down. So as per usual, just pulling up the edges, just roughly distressing them with my fingers. I quite like doing it this way. I prefer it to using the distressing tools or the inside of my scissors, just because I don't actually want the torn paper look. I want clean edges, but not ripped or torn, but I want a little bit of interest. So doing it this way gives me a cleaner distress, if there's such a thing. This journaling spot is from the collection's sticker sheet, and there's a few different ones there, so I'm just trying to pull out some of those floral designs that were in the sketch, and I quite like these because they're not super pretty florals. They're kind of a little bit more modern or cleaner or something. They're not like roses and stuff like that. They're kind of fun florals, perhaps might be a good term for them as well. And so pulled out some of those and just tucking some of those bits and pieces around and looking on the sheet to see what else is available. I had used this collection for a kit. So we have a sort of 6-weekly scrapbooking day at a nearby town. It's about just 2.5-ish hours drive away from me, and I put together a kit each month with instructions and stuff, and I had used this collection, and I think that had to be my favourite kit that I'd put together of all the kits, just because of the colours, and love how they come together. So I'm using the chipboard alpha here. This is sort of just a black. They come in a few different colours. I've got the black and the wood grain. As soon as I go to the acrylic, so there's a colourful acrylic and a white acrylic, it gets a little bit more expensive, but I just like how these letters and things can be added in, and they're reasonably inexpensive. So it's not too hard when I run out of letters and need another sheet of the letters. So I'm just using the liquid glass to stick these down. I used to love letters that were self-adhesive like this, and I had huge chipboard collections of them. But recently, when I was putting together my daughter's 21st album, so I was sort of pulling out layouts and things that fitted, that were sort of about her, a lot of the letters had fallen off, so I was really disappointed. I'm not going to name the brand that it was, but I was really disappointed to find lots of them sort of sitting at the bottom of page protectors and things. Because they were in the page protectors, I was able to stick them back on, but it is disappointing when products don't last the distance, and it's always, now I find a little bit safer to, even if they are adhesive, to add a little bit more of my own stuff that I know will actually stick and seems to last the distance really well. I must say though that my albums that those were in were much loved, and the kids when they were younger did used to enjoy looking through them regularly, so that could have had something to do with it as well, but we still want things that are going to last the distance. So I'm using the acrylic shapes here. Love these shapes as well. Just each sheet has 3 different sort of tones of a colour, so this is the pinks that I'm pulling out here. Now Rua is a male cat, but I don't know, he just seems to suit all of these nice colours and things as well, and hopefully with that touch of blue there, there's a hint of that, and I'm bringing out some of these blue dots too, just to coordinate all of that in, and he is sitting beside that gorgeous pink sign there as well. So I'm just going to outline each of the strips. It just felt like it needed a little bit more definition, so by going around just with the journaling pen here, I'm just creating another interest point and separating them off. So especially you can see at the top with that yellow there, it just brings it out from the background, especially because it's coordinated papers and things like that. It just helps to have that that point of difference. And again, I'm going to just add that little bit of distressing around the edges, and I'm just doing that by hand as well. Sorry about the wobbly table. If you'd watched a few of my last videos, you may have picked up that I am at one of those scrapbook days where I make the kits for, and the table isn't super sturdy and my portable lamp isn't super sturdy either. So there we have it, a layout using the gorgeous sketch for day 9 of Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 days of sketches, and the sketch was by Scrappykea Franco. Thanks heaps for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll check out the playlist for other layouts that are created using this sketch and others as well over this month. Thank you.